ties, all this stuff is connected. And so again, if you're pointing out praise for the effort, that does help with transfer also, because you were explaining to somebody, keep doing this, right? This is something that should stick with you, right? So you can see how all this stuff is actually interconnected. But I think that's a really good point.
So, to close out today, this is one of my SI closing activities. You might do something similar to it in your peer leading sessions. On your index card, write 3 concepts you learned or learned about during today's training. It doesn't have to be one that was on a slide, it could just be something that came up and stuck with you. 2 concepts you will implement and apply in the future. Bonus points if you already have a how ready for where you might be able to do that. And 1 suggestion, remark, or idea to improve this workshop. Or if you'd like, you could give a direct connection to a recent tutoring experience in your discipline.
And of course, because it's Shay, she's giving you an optional free writing assignment.
Of course,
If you
yeah.
wanna
If you
do
want to
that.
hang out and write a little bit about what you're thinking, you can take that with you and have some notes to look back on later.
But we really do want to thank you for inviting us here. We enjoy doing this. Like I said, we've given several iterations of this, and this is like the most expansive we've done. We added a whole lot, and we hope you got at least something out of it. A lot of you already knew a lot of
I
this
could
stuff,
tell it was
right?
a lot of refresher too. On the
Yeah, a lot of it was a review, but I hope that there's a few new strategies we can bring to you. Yeah, and if you after you give us those after you write down those ideas, do you have any questions or comments or anything you want to add or?
We'll let them write first.
Yeah.
Feel free to
Just
take
think
a
about
picture
that.
of these 2 before you turn it.
Yeah.
So as you write, before you finish writing up, let me honor our guests for doing a great job of giving us a good workshop. So I am Marie Simi. I'm a professor in communication department, and I also direct the University's Teaching and Learning Initiative at CSU. It's called Quality Enhancement Plan, and it focuses on problem solving of CSU students across the campus. So what do? I work with the faculty, especially new incoming faculty, and they learn how to make their assignments transparent, right? Why so did I invite them to come here to work with you guys? Because you are in the most powerful position between faculty and student learning, right? Students tend to listen to you better, right? We have the kind of mom effect, right? We tell them, they don't listen. You guys are in a powerful position to make an impact on learning. I'm sure you have observed that students come with a wide range of learning skills, right? And so as you help them develop the growth mindset, one word I want you to use, when someone comes over and says, I'm so suck at math, right? Add that word to the sentence, yet, right? Then that's a progress, that's a process, and not like in the final statement. So if someone says, I'm so bad at writing, yet, right? You're gonna get there eventually, not yet, but you will be, right? You will get better after this tutoring, after this class, and so forth. Right, so help them do that. The reason I asked you guys to be a part of this transparent assignment design process because I want you guys to be a part of the process. As a faculty, develop the mission of how they are designing the assignments. If you guys can help read students in decoding the assignment, what those assignments mean, we approach from multiple directions to help students learn. Especially those of many of the students we serve at CSU are underprivileged, right? Who doesn't often have privileged learning experiences. Our job is to lift them up, right? Transparent assignment design is one simple way for them to have a skill set that goes across disciplines, right? And another thing I want to do is so faculty designs assignments. I have put together a student review team to review their assignments and give faculty feedback. If you're interested in being a part of that, right, read through faculty assignment design and tell them how they can improve. That's kind of empowering, right? And they listen to you. And the faculty loved it, right? Because you guys are the end user of all the assignments, right? So if you're interested in it, let me know. Then we will get together and review them and put together the feedback for faculty to take your words, right? And so you guys will also have a relationship to give feedback back to the faculty because students come in with a lot of questions, right? Faculty should hear that too. So their assignment design is a little bit better next time. So can we create this organic process? That's what I'm interested in solving the gap between faculty and student learning. And yours are very powerful, right? So let me know if you're interested. My office is also in Arnold Hall, our first floor. Come over, I have hot chocolate. I'll be free. Yeah. And I'm happy to chat with you and hear your stories and how I can assist you guys in becoming not only a better tutor, but also a better student and have more access to what you're interested in pursuing. Thank you for hanging out with us today. I hope you took something away from us. And again, thank you so much for coming and doing the workshop for us.
And definitely take advantage of that opportunity too, because you really are in the best position to do this type of thing, you know. A lot of times, you know, the faculty, they have good intentions. You know, nobody has to, they're not trying to trick you, but they just need a little bit of outside feedback. And like I said, expert blind spot is a thing.
Everybody needs an editor.
You know, everybody does need that. And you've got this dual perspective, which is great because you are teaching, you know, and you are also students. And so you can give this great perspective, and I really, I mean, that's like the holy grail. I wish we could do that type of thing. Maybe we will. Right?
The research behind the transparent assignment design is the students who received the assignments in that format, they felt like they can start something.
Mm-hmm.
Many of the students who come with underprivileged background, they feel I have no idea where to start, and they don't do the assignment and then drop out, not only from the class, but from the college altogether. But the transparent assignment design has proven in terms of sense of belonging to the academic community. I kind of get, I don't get 100%, but I kind of get where to start. And so they're going to go ahead and do it. They might get a D or C, right? But that's better than W, right? So it's about creating a sense of belonging that matters to a lot of students we serve, right? So help me do that, right? Our job is to be inclusive, regardless where they come from, right? So, and you can do that. So help me do that. Because it's really hot in here.
Thank you all. Did anybody have any?
Yeah, we've got some time left.
We have a couple minutes if you want.
Or to chat about it. Feel free again to take pictures of your index cards because we do want to take those.
Right, we do want to take those because we want to get your feedback.
Or just thoughts. We can just
Yeah,
chat.
any random thought is fair game.
Do you guys think that using this model would inhibit like creativity at all? Like
That
since we're
was-
kind of
That's a good point. So let me speak to that again, right? With creativity for the instructors or for you?
for the students.
For the students?
Yeah, on the assignments. Because if you give them what to do, they won't be as creative and thinking outside of the box.
So there's ways to do that. Like I said, I have a mix of tilted and non-tilted assignments.
And semi-tilted too.
And
It's like
quasi-tilted,
something can
right,
fall
you know.
into, yeah.
You know what I mean? So if I really want somebody to think outside the box, but you know what? Here's an interesting thing. You can be transparent about that. You can tell your students, right? I can tell my students. My purpose is to get you to kind of flounder around with this idea until you come up with something. Do you see what I'm saying? So I'm still being transparent, but I'm not being systematic. Does that make sense? Does that help? So I will do that. I mix it up a lot, but I will tell them, like, you know, you're all giving me quizzical looks, and I'll go, I like that. I want you to be confused by this idea, and I want to see what you do with it, right? That's my purpose. So I'm still being clear about why we're doing it. If that helps answer that question.
Makes sense. I was just curious.
Yeah, but that's a good point, and it's a concern that a lot of people have, and particularly also from your perspective too. You know, we're never said that, you know, task, purpose, criteria for success are the only things that you're ever going to use, right? They're tools in your toolkit, right? We think they're really helpful in a lot of situations, and that's why we have been on tour.
Choosing the appropriate approach can also be part of the task too. So it
Right.
can be open, but still within that step of identify what for you as maybe an artist or as a poet or something like that, what format works for you to convey the ideas, and that can be built into it too. There's flexibility. Shannon, what you got?
So could it be sort of thought of as this a statement to me, it's a little bit abstract,
Mhm.
but so between numbers 1 and 2, there are infinite combination of numbers.
Mhm.
you know. So between each set of instructions, there are probably infinite ways to interpret that.
Probably.
Right? So do instructions actually limit us? I mean, or guidelines, you know, as we're talking about simplified instructions to help us understand. They don't really limit us if we see it as not just the thing that's inside the box and you go outside it. Is that
I see what you're reaching for. Yeah.
I'm not sure if
I'm kind of like, I find myself now picturing kind of a road, and the lines are painted on the road. You can still drive all over the road. You can just take the suggestion and drive in the way that
I
works
think,
best.
you know,
Yeah.
I think what you pointed out is like, I would say the reason that the instructions help for a lot of instructors, a lot of students, it's not necessarily every situation, right? Okay. But if we think about just that psychology example, right? How it can be made so much more doable. You know what I mean? You know, there are going to be probably upper level classes, graduate level classes that don't necessarily maybe need task, purpose, criteria for success. Although I do that
I've
anyway.
always liked a rubric. It's never.
There's nothing wrong with a rubric, right? I mean, it
Yeah.
doesn't, you know, because we are, you know, when you're a student, you kind of have to deal with the instructor's expectations. I mean, that's just the way it is, right? That's just simply the way it is. And if the instructor is clear about the expectations, then you can make your choices, you know, to succeed with that. And that's really all this is about. And I mean, I will say, just, you know, I'm old. My undergrad, nobody ever did anything like this. They just threw stuff at you and said, yeah, do this. You know what I mean? And I will say, like, it's not that I made bad grades. There were some times where I made bad grades because I had no clue what they wanted. But I generally made pretty good grades. But I didn't learn as much as I could have. You know what I mean? So I'm just glad that we can, you know, conceptualize things this way now. Just to let you know, because it was never a thing. You know, it really was. The standard was, hey, you're in a class, somebody throws a sheet at you with some words on it. You're like, I guess I'll figure this out myself. I don't really know what you want, right? And so I think this is just a way better, you know, system.
As an example too of the non-limitation, I had a class with Dr. Daniel rhetorical theory, and the purpose was to dive deeper into rhetorical theory terms. The task was to pick 3 terms and define them, and the criteria was just make sure that you get this across to the people you're presenting to in whatever format that works best for these particular terms. One student chose the style and the levels of style. So she made cakes with different levels of grandiosity per the cake. And for grand style, she did this red velvet cake with like all kinds of icing and swirls and fancy stuff on it. And that it did its job. It told us what the difference was between these different styles and levels of formality. And so that was a perfectly acceptable format to work in there. So I think just it really just depends on the instructor and how strictly they want to write that. Yeah, that is definitely a concern.
Yeah, I'll give you one example real quick that I've used before with faculty that, like, you know, I mean, it's just like any piece of writing. Any piece of writing is not ever perfect, right? There's no such thing. That's okay, right? but you keep trying to improve. So I have this assignment that I've been using for probably 5 years now, maybe more. I like it. I don't want to get rid of it because I like it for my freshman composition class, right? But so it's in a textbook. It's like I didn't come up with it, right? You know, I thought it was really good. And so for a year or two, everything went fine. Then I would give them the assignment in the textbook, and people would go wildly off course and not do anything remotely what the assignment specified, right? And I was like, okay, this is my fault. Okay, so then I wrote an assignment sheet to explain the assignment in the book. Okay, so now you've got these two documents, right? Then that worked okay for a while, and then people kind of went back off course, and I was like, I don't want to give up this assignment. It's still got good objectives, right? It's still really good, and it's interesting. So then I had to remodel it. So what I did was like, then in class, I would actually bring up what I was talking about, and I would go through, here is what I would do if I were writing the assignment. I would start here, I would be doing these things right now. I would show them models, right? And so that was fine. After about a year of that, people started going off course again. Don't know why. Have no idea why. So what I finally had to do was I was like, okay, so I've got the assignment. I've got the assignment sheet to explain the assignment. I have the in-class instructions and where I modeled and I explain the assignment sheet that explains the assignment, right? So now I was like, look, here's the thing. We're going to role play. I was like, you are a consultant, you know, writing up this thing. Here's your audience. Here's your role. Go. And so, but you can see how it took 5 years for me to kind of nail down and keep tweaking that thing to make it clearer, you know, because maybe what seemed clear to the people who wrote the textbook, not, right? And my assignment sheet I thought that I wrote that explained the other one, maybe not, right? So, but you can have an evolution. Nothing's ever perfect, but you know, it's just keep trying to make it so that the students can succeed at it. Because the whole point is not to throw things at people that they cannot do, or not for me it isn't, you know. So I just thought I'd share that anecdote.
The same project where the one girl did the cakes, my terms were sublime, spirit, and silence, and I ended up leading a guided meditation. Just to kind of show you the range of how that project went. So yeah, all depends on the instructor and where they are in that process, how strict they want to set the terms. We have some references.
We have lots of references. If you need them, you know, let us know. We can provide. Any other questions or things? Okay, thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Feel free to
I hope you got
talk to
something out of
each other
it.
about
You know.
your plans to apply this information in the future.
Yeah, we definitely want to see that.
Examples, things like that.